Okay, so I'm not able to say if I had a specialty that I could bring to ProPro or a specific focus. I mean, what I think is very important generally in this kind of occasions is really like trying to focus to share as much as possible my experiences, but filtering them in a way that could be relevant to the projects or the stories that we are analyzing. So that was like my approach, and in the end, I try to be very honest with them, and also try to put myself in their steps and trying to imagine what I would do if I were working on those projects. So mainly it's about really sharing experiences, and also being frank in giving maybe suggestions and ideas, specifying that it's not because it's my idea that it's a good idea, but just as a process, as a stimulation of a conversation which opens up issues that might be relevant for the project. And I'm glad, because somehow I felt that most of the issues I raised were close to the kind of questions and problems that the participants were facing on their projects. I must admit, I never choose project because I think that there is a trend in the moment that can work. I'm very interested in trying. What really convinced me is to feel an urgency and a need of telling one story by that specific person, and also I'm convinced really by the person, which for me means talent and means determination in wanting to tell specific stories, and so these are the main ingredients I look for, as well as I really look for diversity, and somehow I'm attracted by a project if it promises to be somehow different from the other things I'm seeing around, which not that I'm looking for weird things, but if I feel that there's something unique in a project, it's a very strong hook for me. At the same time, sometimes you realize that there are some themes, some issues that are in the spirit of the time, and that you discover in more than one project. And this is also interesting, because maybe there's something that is circulating and maybe we are not completely conscious about it, but then maybe it touches on something which is critical today. And so this is, of course, my approach. At the same time, sometimes you have one good idea, what you think is a good idea, and then you look for, someone who can share this idea and bring it forward. But I must say that because we are a very much author-driven company, sometimes we commission projects, but most of the time we are really with open eyes, open ears to find the stories that we think could work. But they can be very different and also very much away from trends. Yeah, it was very nice and interesting. First of all, I like very much the concept and the idea of ProPro. I found, I wasn't here that much, so I didn't have the chance to really properly know all the participants, but my feeling is that the level was pretty high. Some of them are very experienced producers also, so it's about okay, I was in the mentor role, but it's also about exchanging, in any case, experiences and listening and sharing. I enjoyed very much also the group, because it was a very interesting way of approaching the analysis of the project, and I felt that the spirit of the group was very, and this was, I think, the fact that maybe we were only women, maybe, but I don't know. There was a very strong sense of responsibility in wanting to try to give the best possible feedbacks on the project. And this is not so common in my experience. Sometimes, you know, when you come to groups in those kind of places, maybe then, you know, it's like you don't necessarily care. Well, there was really like a very positive and yes, like very easy way of communicating, and so that was nice.